Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ruach Kudash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And today we're going to go into the book of Romans, the 12th chapter. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service, right? And that presenting your bodies as a living sacrifice is by way of serving the Lord, right? In whatever role it is the Lord has you in, you're sacrificing the things that you would do in your life so that you can serve the Lord, and you do it in an acceptable way to Him, which is your reasonable service. Okay, this is what we are supposed to do anyway. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. So don't be conformed to this world, right? Don't subject yourself to the ways of this world, but rather have your mind changed, transformed, change forms by the renewing of your mind, right? In Yahweh Shai, you look at things differently, you think about things differently, you live differently. That you can prove, you can test and validate that which is good and acceptable and perfect will of God. NLT, don't copy the behavior and customs of this world, but let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. Then you will learn to know God's will for you, which is good and pleasing and perfect. For I say, through the grace given unto me, to every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think. See, so Paul is saying here, don't get high-minded. You know, don't get proud. Don't get above, beside yourself, but to think soberly, according as God hath dealt to every man the measure of faith. So basically, be humble and go within, stay within your righteous or spiritual lane or bounds. Okay, be sober-minded, according to the faith the Lord has given you. For as we have many members in one body, and all members have not the same office, right? So we don't all have the same role. We're not all given the same responsibilities, but we all have different tasks because we're likened onto being different body parts in one body. So we, being many, are one body in Hamashiach, and every one members one of another, right? So there are many of us, but together we're still one body in Yahweh Shai. We still, the feet do what the feet do for the benefit of the whole body. The arms, likewise, the eyes, the brain, the nose, the mouth, everything, right? And as it says, and every one members one of another, of the same body. Having then gifts differing according to the grace that is given to us, whether prophecy, let us prophesy, according to the proportion of faith. So, being that we have different offices, let us respect each other in those offices, right? If you've been given the gift of prophecy, prophesy according to the faith that's given you. Or ministry, let us wait on our ministering, or he that teacheth on teaching. I'll pull this up in the NLT as well to read it side by side as we go. It says, if your gift is serving others, dealing with ministry, serve them well. If you are a teacher, teach well. And here it's not mutually exclusive once again, right? We're all, we all do teach, we all do serve one another, but there's some who the Lord has explicitly put that kind of spirit upon them to where that's what they gravitate most towards. So according to the measure you've been given, stick to that. Or he that exhorteth on exhortation, he that giveth, let him do it with simplicity. He that ruleth with diligence, he that sheweth mercy with cheerfulness. NLT, it says, if your gift is to encourage others, be encouraging. If it is giving, give generously. If God has given you leadership ability, take the responsibility seriously. And if you have that's the he that ruleth, leadership ability. And if you have a gift for showing kindness to others, do it gladly. Let love be without dissimulation. Abhor that which is evil, cleave to that which is good. Let's look at that. Dissimulation, right, which is like pretense. So let your love be sincere. Don't, I'm just doing it, but really I hate this person. I hate this person's guts, but I'm just acting this way, just because I feel like I have to. Nah, that's not sincere. Okay, abhor that which is evil, stay away from that, and cleave to that which is good. Be kindly affectioned one to another with brotherly love, in honoring, preferring one another. Right. So treat each other, with brotherly love. Be prefer to honor each other, right, and treating each other right. Not slothful in business. And what is the business? Serving the Lord. So don't be lazy in ministering for the Lord. Be fervent in spirit. Be active, serving the Lord. Rejoicing in hope. Patient in tribulation. Right. So rejoice in the hope of the Lord. Be patient when you go through hard times. Continuing instant in prayer, constantly praying. Distributing to the necessity of the saints, given to hospitality, right? Distributing, basically giving out and helping those that are in need. NLT, when God's people are in need, be ready to help them. Always be eager to practice hospitality. Bless them which persecute you, bless and curse not. So, that's like those that may not they may not look out for you in the best way. Don't try to avenge yourself, okay? Because it says more about you than about them. If you bless and they curse, the Lord is going to recompense accordingly. Rejoice with them that do rejoice, and weep with them that weep. And that's like Paul saying, being all things to all men, right? Because if you are, one body of believers, jointly fit together, you're all supposed to be on the same page. Then, hey, with those that rejoice, you rejoice with them, and those that weep, you weep with them in the sense of comforting them. Be of the same mind one toward another. So be like-minded. Mind not high things, but condescend to men of low estate. So don't think of yourself as somebody so high that nobody can, even talk to you. But bring yourself down to those that may be on a lower level. Be not wise in your own conceits. Live in harmony with each other. Don't be too proud to enjoy the company of ordinary people. See? And don't think you know it all. Recompense to no man evil for evil. Provide things honest in the sight of all men. And that's the part right there, right? Don't pay back evil with evil. Because you might be on your way to pay back evil with evil, and then you might get hurt some more. But rather, let the Lord deal with it. Never pay back evil with more evil. Do things in such a way that everyone can see you are honorable, right? Provide things honest in the sight of all men. If it be possible, as much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men. So if it's possible, just, be at peace with all men. You don't have to create an issue where there is none, and take the low route, because peace will save you much more of a headache and much more trouble than, the opposite of that, right? If there doesn't need to be a problem, let there not be a problem. Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath. That is, give place for the Lord, all right, to bring that wrath. The scriptures say that it is a righteous thing with God to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you. So don't try to avenge yourself. Let the Lord handle it. For it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Lord. So let the Lord do it. Somebody may wrong you. You know what? You just pray about it and the Lord will handle it. Sometimes it's difficult. Sometimes you get very, very, very pissed. Sometimes you're very offended. Sometimes you really, really, really want to take matters into your own hands. But let the Lord handle it, because he can handle it much better than you ever could. Therefore, if thine enemy hunger, feed him. And this isn't talking, it's like what Yahweh Shai said. It's not talking about, somebody that is like, actual demon, like your actual enemy. It's talking about those within the body of believers that are adverse to you, right? You may not get along with them. You may have had some problems in the past, or just whatever the case is, right? But if that's the case, still, you don't just neglect them. If he thirsts, give him drink. For in doing so, thou shalt heap coals of fire on his head. This heaping coals of fire on his head it's like doing kind or doing good and showing kindness to somebody that was seeking your hurt. And it's gonna mess with their conscience. It's gonna burn in their minds. It's gonna burn their conscience. They're gonna be cut to the heart, like Saul. Saul is an example of David heaped coals of fire on his head when he had the opportunity to slay him, and he didn't. And then after Saul left the cave, David basically came and told him all that. And he saw how he wept. And he said, "You have been more righteous than me." That was an example of coals being heaped on his head, because David did not recompense evil for evil. Be not overcome of evil, but overcome evil with good. And that's an example of what David did with Saul. And guess what? The Lord is the one who ended up taking out King Saul, not David. Don't let evil conquer you, but conquer evil by doing good. And that brings us to the end of the book of Romans, the 12th chapter. Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rcha Kodash. And until next time, Shalom.